I'm Heather Clark. I'm a lifelong resident of Mankato, 4th generation. I live with my significant other, Erin, and my 3 kids. And I work for Oleson Hobbie Architects, and I'm an interior designer. So the way that the Y influences my life and my work is definitely through the Women's Leadership Program and how I raise my kids. What I really loved about that program was that it wasn't climbing, it wasn't networking, it was cultivating relationships. You know, I've been here for 4 generations, and so I assume that I know everybody. And so I met so many women that I didn't know, and nobody had a motive of to try and advance their career. And so it was such a great experience to just get off the networking, get off the social climbing, and actually cultivate relationships. As a mother, I feel like it's my job to instill values that they can carry on throughout their lives so that when they become adults, that they can be like citizens of the world. And during the last year, we've lived through a pandemic. My kids were distance learning. I was working from home. And although it was super challenging, there was also these amazing moments that I was able to have with my 10-year-old son, because he and I were officing together. And so we actually watched and listened to the entire Chauvin trial. And he was overhearing all of these things, and we'd stop it and turn it down, and he'd ask me questions and I would answer them. And one day it led to a 2-hour-long conversation about white male privilege and explaining that to my 10-year-old son. And these are just things and moments that we wouldn't have had it not been for a pandemic and distance learning and all of these things. And it was such an authentic, wonderful moment. And it was more just like, okay, son, you have this life ahead of you, and you have the ability to make a change. And so I don't know if I would have felt as passionately about all of that if it wasn't for my involvement with the Y. I think it's always been there in me, but understanding that it's my place to start initiating the change is something that I feel very passionately about. So I have advice for young leaders. Be confident in your vision, because your perspective is unique. And you might have a lot of people at a table who have better ideas, but nobody is thinking about it the way that you're thinking about it. People have the ability to empower everyone around them, whether it be women or anybody around them and their children. But building up the people in your community is only going to benefit your community. And so if you can volunteer, you volunteer. If you can give money, you give money. If you can provide influence, provide influence. I think that we all have the ability to empower those around us.